Hello and welcome to another round of NPL action, NPL 2 action with you today in the first of the cross-conference rounds in the NPL second division. We have a matchup between the West's Brunswick City and surprise top of the Eastern Conference, Eastern Lions. They are the lone remaining undefeated side in the East with 4 wins and 1 draw, and they will, regardless of today's results, retain that top spot after other games. I'm joined here today by my Daily Football Show Australia co-presenter, Joel Frucci. My name is Joey Lynch. Joel, thanks for joining me. Well, pretty simply, who's going to win today?
Well, hello, Joe. It's good to be sharing the mic with you in a bit of a different capacity. I suppose you've probably got to go with Eastern Lions. Some real quality on the books, and as you say, surprise leaders. It's probably the first time this season I've had a real good, solid look at them. I've scraped together a few bits and bobs from them this season, but really looking forward to what we're going to see. And I think to start with, at least, we've got to go with them.
Absolutely. Well, heading into the game, Brunswick City are 8th in the NPL 2 Western Conference with a 1 win, 1 draw and 3 losses, so maybe looking to kickstart their season by defeating the table toppers in the Eastern Conference. We'll take you through the starting lineups really quickly. Starting for Eastern Lions, we have number 1, Keegan Coulter, number 2, Kostas Drutzis, number 3, Matt Collier, number 4, James Doyle, number 6, Andrew Williams, number 7, Ziggy Rizuki, number 9, Cameron Niels, number 10, Tom Biss, number 11, Chris Drutzis, so 2 Drutzis on the park for the Eastern Lions today, number 15, Yanni Tumanidis, and number 17, Nathan Sim. Starting for visiting Brunswick, we have number 1, Sebastian Mate, number 3, George McKellar, number 4, Darby Dexter, looking forward to saying his name, number 6, Tillman Stewart, number 7, Nicholas Gonzalez, number 8, Ali Turgut, number 11, Ratip Chilele, number 15, Kwabene Bahane, number 16, Kobe Timms, number 19, Nate Foster, number 23, Nathaniel Fox. Our referee today is Sergio Tercero, assistants Anastasios Dimitroulis and Andrew Lloyd, and the 4th official is Daniel Martinez as we get underway here at Gardeners Creek. And Eastern Lions have a throw-in down the right. Ball is attempted to be swung in by Niels, but cut out there by Drutzis. Eastern Lions try to work it across the field, but nothing of it, and Brunswick can look to break. Played up the field, but cut out there once again by Lions. Now back with Brunswick. Tight tussle here early in the contest. Sunny conditions here in Melbourne's East, here in Burwood, but there's a bit of a breeze coming across from the left to right of your screen, which is the direction that Eastern Lions in their red kits will be kicking. Brunswick in their away rights will be kicking from right to left as they will look to break through the midfield for the first time. Long ball up, nothing of it, and the ball will fall to Keegan Coulter. Lions looking to build up through the midfield. Tight back and forth action here. Tumanides wins it. Plays it back to Coulter. Coulter will just go long with the ball, and Brunswick will throw the ball back in. Now, Joel, do you think that we've seen Eastern Lions this season, well, they've had to do it late a number of times. The past 2 weeks, they've had to score in the 84th minute and the 91st minute to win it. Do you reckon they'll maybe just be looking for an early goal to calm their nerves?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, anytime you're the home side, you always want to start early and sort of make that home presence felt, if you like. I've been lucky enough this season to watch Hume City a couple of times and to use them as a reference. Both times I've watched them, they've taken the lead very early and have gone on to win their games.
Yeah, as Foster gets the ball in, but it's cleared, and now the Lions will look to clear, but tight tussle for the ball there. This will be Drutzis, but Drutzis goes down under the challenge. Tumanidis gets the ball out wide to the other Drutzis. to Drutzis on the left now. Plays the ball back to Doyle. Doyle will turn the ball over though to Timms. It'll be a throw into Brunswick down the left. Thrown in by McCullough. Stewart wins another throw in for his side. McCullough will throw the ball back in. Trying to work it around down the left. You had Gonzalez and McClellan working it there to Foster, but it's going to be a free kick in a dangerous position to Brunswick. Stewart will look to get it going. He's got McClellan on his left. He uses him. Looking for Foster on the left. Foster's offside though, however. As the wind continues to blow up, you might be able to hear it on the microphone coming across. We are, of course, stationed on the roof here at Gardeners Creek as the game unfolds. And Joel, just how important could that wind advantage be to the Lions as they go from left to right on the screens?
Well, it could be very important. It's blowing an absolute gale at the moment towards that goal of Brunswick City. But yeah, it could well be. And we've seen it a bit this round actually across the board in NPL Victoria. Some really interesting weather conditions. A bit humid, a bit wet in some respects. Quite a nice day today. It's a bit warm, but very windy indeed.
As the Eastern Lions look to try to get something over the top, but it is cut out by the referee's whistle. So yeah, there had been some potential for some storms I thought I heard in the weather report this morning, but doesn't look like it. Absolutely blue skies with just the slightest of smatterings of clouds as Matai looks to get the ball out, but he can only get it as far as Drutzis, but luckily his defence is on the ball to bail him out. Now ball is floated long over the top in the direction of Foster, but he can't get anywhere near it. This is Foster's, well, he missed round one, did Nate Foster, a familiar name to many of the viewers, former Knights, Cannons and Thunder player, missed round one to get married. So as far as excuses for missing a game go, that's a pretty good one, I'd say. I think if Melbourne City had made the W League finals, they would have been without a couple of their players because of marriage. So it's good enough for the pros. It's good enough for NPL too, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not a bad excuse to to miss a game, to miss work, I think.
Well, he was back for round two though, so it kind of been the longest honeymoon. So might have angered his new wife a bit there. As now Drutzis on the ball for the Lions, looking to build the ball up, but it is turned over once again in the midfield, and Gonzalez tries to move them forward. He will get it to Turgut. Turgut will work it out to the right to Bohane. Apologies if I'm getting his name wrong. It's the first time I've ever encountered him. He will throw the ball in back, and Brunswick will look to maybe switch the play through their goalkeeper. But Eastern Lions with a very fierce press there, not giving Matai any time to tee a ball up. And the Lions, they're not going to let Brunswick work the ball out easily as they force another turnover there. But unfortunately, Costas Drutzis, last year's best and fairest winner for the Lions, can't do anything with it, and it will be a Brunswick throw-in. Do you think maybe that's a strategy that's been put in place with this wind in mind, try to box the Brunswick defence in, not let them get out, give them no peace?
Yeah, potentially. I mean, I think there's a lot that both teams can do, Joey, with this wind, whether it's going one way or the other. I think certainly one thing that is sort of obvious to me is that both teams early should be looking to test the palms of either goalkeeper, or really maybe dip some shots in and around those keepers and see how they've adjusted to this wind, because it is very strong.
Chance maybe to let the wind take on a set piece here, as the Lions will be able to swing it in from the left. Assembled pack in the box, defenders have come up for it, ball comes in, but it beats everybody, and it will be a goal kick. And maybe just there, not maybe used to the conditions, the wind picked it up and took it out. Maybe on a dead day that just falls to the 6-yard box and a potential header for the Lions.
Yeah, and I mean that ball was, I think, straight in Gardeners Creek behind the goals. It went straight down the little trench behind the goals there. But yeah, maybe on another day that dips. But yeah, look, I think it's the right idea to float some balls in early and try and test the keeper, even though, of course, it didn't happen there. But, yeah, right idea, I think.
And just once again, we see that ball die in the air as it gets cleared up. But nonetheless, Brunswick will move forward now through the captain, McKellar. He will just work it back once again. Timms will work it back to Matai, wearing the cap. Love to see a goalkeeper wearing a cap. Just trying to work it out, but once again the Lions very quickly in their press, but they've managed to play through it. Gonzalez looking to play a ball in behind the defence, but it's cut out there by Collier. And now the Lions can look to break quickly. They will win a corner though, so perhaps another chance to test the Brunswick defence from a set piece, maybe learn some lessons from the free kick. You can probably see with the wind picking up that corner flag and the trees in the background just how fierce the wind is here today. You can see the ball's not even staying on surface as the Lions will look to swing it in. Big Nathan Sim there in the area. Out to the back post. Collected by Doyle, but Doyle is well defended and Brunswick will have a slight respite with just a throw in this time rather than a corner. I'll get it back to Sim. Here we'll get it back to Drutzis, who will find the other Drutzis, his brother, Costas Drutzis. He will get it back to his brother, Chris Drutzis. There you go, Costa and Chris. It will fall at the edge of the area there to Rizuki. Rizuki takes a ping, nothing of it, and it'll be a goal kick. But early decent signs there for the Lions. They are the form team in the matchup, and they are looking to take the initiative here with a press, and we'll see whether or not... Well, does Matai try to keep this ball on the turf with that fierce wind blowing in his face? No, he'll go long. And just once again, the ball will just die in mid-air as Foster gets underneath it and nods it on. But the Lions collect. They've got space to work down the right. Chris Drutzis plays a ball for Cameron Niels to run onto, but he can't get there in time. You could see the effort that he was making there, but he just couldn't get to the ball in the end. And another goal kick for Matai. Now, the Lions, they'd be looking to keep this up, wouldn't they? Just not letting Brunswick get out of their own half at all.
Yeah, absolutely. They have got the wind at their backs. They really want to use that. And like you say, Joey, I mean, really making the most of being the home team here, really looking to put their foot down early, potentially themselves maybe adjusting to the wind a little bit there. That last pass probably just had a bit too much on it, and I mean, maybe with the wind, well, without the wind, I should say, it stays in, but not on that occasion.
Just another goal kick now. Slight break in the wind there, so this one goes a bit longer. Nate Foster underneath it, but he doesn't win it again, and Doyle will pop in and knock the ball forward, but unable to collect, and Brunswick will have a throw-in. And immediately the Lions get up and don't give them any space. Just forced to go down the line, and it's immediately cut out. Quick throw in this time. And now Brunswick has space on the left if they can move it quickly. McKellar. Well done by Gonzalez. Gonzalez will get it back, and now he will work it up to Stewart. Back to Gonzalez. Working through them, but he's run into a wall of defenders as Turgut. And he'll just be forced to go back. Rebounding there. Turgut on the right. What can he do with it? Sneaks the ball between two to Foster. Foster can't do anything. Foster. And the Lions will just hoof it long and clear the ball. Whopper football. Just route one. Get it out of there, son. And Matai will collect, bring it back in, and maybe wisely pick it up, given the wind here. And they'll look to rebound again through Dexter. Stewart. Fox will work it back to Matai. Matai will look to go along with it. It's cut out by Williams. The captain, Andrew Williams, son of the coach, Jimmy Williams. Just a poor throw-in. Well, not a poor throw-in. Poor collection of the throw-in gives the Lions a chance. Quickly cut out there, though, by Timms. And the Lions will look to get it in again. Costa Crutzis. Collier. To Manidis. Force a turnover here, though. It's Nate Foster. He's got Gonzalez to his left in support. What can he do? He looks for Gonzalez, but it's cut out by the Lions' defence. But they still have it. Look, Foster. Foster shoots! Off the post. Almost there for Brunswick against the run of play. Oh, that was very dangerous there, and you can see just Nate Foster, the quality that he brings to this Brunswick lineup. He almost creates something there.
Nice play from Ali Turger to put that ball in behind, and good strikers run there from Foster. So unlucky, though, to hit the post in the end, and I think we were all, Joey, just kind of waiting for that ball to roll in, but not to be on that occasion. But yeah, against the run of play, certainly it's one of those ones that Eastern Lions have to look out for. They've probably been the better team early, but as things are, when you're a bit dominant early, you've always got to keep things nice and tight at the back and look out for those warning shots.
As a burst of wind almost takes the cameraman's bag off the roof, but he collects in time. Well done. And now Chris Strutzis will throw it up in the direction of his brother, but his brother cannot retain possession, and it'll be a Brunswick throw-in now. It's going to be the death of me trying to figure out the difference between Costas and Chris Strutzis throughout tonight. Timms under pressure from three, but he somehow gets the ball back. Cut out by Sim. Williams will work it across to Collier. They'll work it back out to the left now. Back to Collier. Cut out there. Brunswick can't do anything to collect it. Chris Strutzis. Best in possession. Gets it to Strutzis. Chris Strutzis. And he will give away the free kick, trying to work on Darby Dexter. And it looks like Matai will wander over to take the subsequent free kick. There's the wind dies down here, so maybe a chance to go long if he wants. Which he does so. Strong header from Doyle. And Strutzis went down, but no free kick according to the referee, but they've still got the ball, Doyle. Well, he wanted Biss to run down into the corner there, but maybe miscommunication and another chance. But you've got to think, if you are Brunswick, you need to give your defence some relief from this early torrent of pressure that the Lions are applying. Yeah, for sure, and got to keep checks on Tom Biss as well. He's obviously the man for Eastern Lions. 3 goals so far this season, and of course a bit of a storied career in football, if you like, Joey. Spell with Wellington Phoenix in yesteryear, which and there's a dog on the pitch. Hello. Just NPL things. As a dog runs onto the field, we're probably going to have a suspension of play. All dogs are good dogs. As the good boy runs off the field and is collected by his own, but he's back. Look at that evasion skills. Cap him, Arnie. Look at him go. Yeah. Is he going to play with Matai? Yes. Tail's wagging. Luckily Matai's got gloves on. I don't think the dog appreciated being picked up there. That's definitely one that I'm hoping FV will put in the highlight reel at the end of that one. A-League, eat your heart out. We've got dogs down here in NPL Victoria. It's Matai, after that interruption, will go long once again. The ball dies again. And eventually Stewart will win the free kick for Brunswick. So a chance maybe just to get out of their half and try to get something going in the opposite direction. Aside from that one chance for Nate Foster, which admittedly did crash off the post, it's pretty much been all one-way traffic because Brunswick will look to get something going forward. What can they do with it? Timms to Foster. He's under pressure from 3. They immediately swarm him, but the ball comes out. Comes back. Well, you had both Foster and Chileli around it there. Chileli no slouch himself. He's already scored twice this season for Brunswick, which was a brace in round 4 against the Victory. So he can score, and he can score multiple times, but nothing to it as the ball goes long. And just this wind is blowing. Maybe we should get some safety harnesses or something up on the roof here, but nonetheless, ball comes back in and it's chested down to Matai, and Brunswick can look to go again. McKellar just has to play it back. Back to Matai. He will play it short this time to Dexter. Dexter, formerly of Port Melbourne, South and Hume, and the NTC, so a well-travelled player in NPL Victoria. They're under pressure here though, and it's going to... Niels is applying the pressure, but he's going to give away a free kick. Now, dare I say it, if this plays true to form, Matai will go along with it, and we'll get a big jump for the ball in the middle of the field, and he does go long. And once again, the Lions will head the ball back, and they will win a free kick. Appears that Bohane collected his man a little late. No, it's a Brunswick free kick. My apologies. Something off the ball, perhaps? Nonetheless, it looks like it'll be Dexter. Oh, chips over the top, just wide there from Niels, I think it was. God, that was dangerous. And there we see again another turnover from Brunswick. Just this time, it almost costs them.
Yeah, another real warning shot there from Eastern Lions, and I think Brunswick City, Joey, could really do with just a prolonged spell of possession. And even we can see from these goal kicks from Seb Matai that his long kicks aren't exactly travelling very far at all, barely making it past the halfway line. With this wind, as the ball moves again there, and clearly Eastern Lions are pushing up very high as well, so they're making it hard for him. But I think maybe, and they don't look to be doing that here on this occasion. But I figured that they could probably do with maybe just some play out from the back and get it to the 2 T's in midfield.
Ball comes over the top. Gonzalez is there, and he does win the ball for his side. Got men in support. Foster. Chileli in the middle, but he can't find him. So Brunswick will retain possession through Stewart. Gonzalez back to Stewart. Stewart has space in the left. Cuts it back inside. Foster at the back post! Just wide of the goals, and that was almost it there for Brunswick. Just some quick possession there, and you can see that they've got the quality to pass the ball and move the ball in between these Lions defenders. Just didn't come off there for the visitors.
Well, that was a great opening and a couple of chances now for Nathaniel Foster. But Nico Gonzalez, even though they haven't had the ball a lot deep in Eastern Lions half, Brunswick City, Nico Gonzalez is looking very dangerous. Another nice through ball there from him. But a couple of shots down the other end, something for Eastern Lions to think about.
Absolutely. Yes. With this wind, maybe every minute that Brunswick can hold out here and maybe not cop a goal under this intense pressure is a minute they realise, all right, we're going to get 45 of these in the second half. So give them something. Maybe those long Matai balls start travelling the entire length of the field in the second half, as it looks to be another goal kick here for Brunswick. It's high. It's once again, it's won by Doyle. He's been up there a lot. Williams heads it forward. It's ping-ponging around there. Foster with a great turn. Stewart now, but he's dispossessed there. And now the Lions have a chance to bake. Drutzis, he'll get the ball back, but his touch is poor. His brother comes to support him, and the Lions will retain possession. And they'll win a free kick, given away by Turgott. It's one by Tumanides, but he will walk away, and Williams, the captain, he'll just go left to Collier. Lions have a chance to float the ball in on the left, perhaps maybe looking for Doyle. 17-year-old, the tall 17-year-old. He's been throwing himself around to intercept these Matai goal kicks. Couldn't get on the end of that one, but he'll instead have another chance to try to kickstart a Lions attack from this goal kick. You wouldn't normally say a goal kick to the opposition is the perfect time to launch an attack, but that's been the general theme for the Lions so far. And doesn't look like Brunswick are going to change it up as Matai goes long again. And once again, Doyle was underneath it. But Brunswick has a throw-in on the right. Take it quickly before the Eastern Lions had a chance to set up. Ball is thrown long. Foster is coming in on the right. He's got support. Well, he had both Turgott and Gonzalez. Couldn't really find either of them, and Keegan Coulter will boot the ball forward, but it's cut out there by the captain, McKellar. But now Sim will just throw the ball back to his goalkeeper, Coulter. Gonzalez ambles forward to apply pressure, and the ball will be booted long. I think he can keep. McKellar tries to keep it in, but he gives the ball away in the process. Drutzis. Turnover. Brunswick can break. That was Fox in possession. Fox and Drutzis. Chris Drutzis battling for it. Drutzis will win the throw-in and throw it to his brother Costas. Ball is poked into the middle of the field. Doyle couldn't get his head on it. Shot comes in. Drutzis! Well, he lashed out with a right foot, trying to get it on and just wide. But it seems that maybe the Eastern Lions in these 50-50s, as I accidentally step on Joel's foot, my apologies. The Eastern Lions in these 50-50 contests are maybe just going a bit harder in this opening half.
Well, they look to be shading it, and nice little snapshot there of why Costa Drutzis was player of the season last year for Eastern Lions. Nice technique on that shot. Nice purposeful attempts, but just wide in the end. Interesting that Eastern Lions probably haven't really had, for all their dominance, too many clear-cut openings. They've had a couple of half chances, but Brunswick City, for their part, have probably had the two best chances of the game, Joey.
Yeah, stout defence. Well, it had to have been stout under this wave of pressure from the Lions as they come in again. Ball floated in at the left. Perhaps Biss at the post, back post. He couldn't get it. Falls to Drutzis. Now the other Drutzis, his brother, Costas. And it looks like he's won a corner. McKellar wanted a goal kick, but he's not going to get one. As the Eastern Lions will take it quickly. Biss. Ducking and weaving beyond the left foot. Biss strikes to curl it in. What a goal from Biss! Thomas Biss, my son, take a bow! He ducked and weaved, and just a class left-footed finish, and the Lions have their opening goal.
What an effort, Joey, from Tom Biss, and we had a perfect view of that, and we just watched it go into the top corner, and, well, that was exactly what you call top bins, and, well, probably a goal that was reflective of the game so far. Eastern Lions probably the better team, and, well, that was probably another one of those what you'd call half chances, but certainly turned into a chance by Tom Biss, and, well, he's the danger man, 4th goal of the season, and what a goal it was.
Absolute peach, just came off his left boot and kept curling and into the back post. And the Lions, once again, they'll look for another one here. 1-2 punch. Drutzis wanted a free kick. He didn't get it, but the Lions retained possession. Out to Doyle at the back post. The two Drutzis work here. Long effort there from Tumanides. Tumanides also has 3 goals on the season. Maybe looking for his 4th. They'll reset now through Sim. He'll switch the ball there. Judge the wind well. Back to Collier. Back to Sim. Sim just directing traffic here. He'll get it out on the left to Collier. Loses his man well. Chance to swing it in from the left here, which they'll get. But Matai is there to collect. Well, we talked about the accumulative pressure that the Lions had been getting throughout this first half. Now they've got the breakthrough. Just, is there a danger, you think, of maybe Brunswick cracking, and there could be another 2 or 3 in quick succession if they're not careful?
Yeah, well, potentially as ball comes on comes on the roof. But yeah, I mean that's always the danger, particularly when you're playing away from home and you've been on the back foot for the majority of the half. Interestingly, Seb Matai hasn't actually had a save to make. Really, just picked the ball out of his own nets and collected a couple of balls and a couple of opportunities. But yeah, that always is the danger. So it'll be interesting to see how Brunswick City do respond now, because they have had a couple of siders themselves, and really, Joey, they could easily be the ones in the lead. So maybe they'll be, or certainly ruining those missed opportunities now.
As they'll maybe look to break quickly here. They're forced to turn over. The ball comes long over the top. Maybe perhaps banking on the ball being held up in the wind there, but it didn't. Keegan to collect. Collier will look to get the Lions forward in attack. Good touch there from Niels. He'll get the ball back and he's gone forward. But Biss, can he keep it in? Can't, and it'll be a goal kick. It's been mostly one-way, well, aside from those 2 chances to Nate Foster, it's been mostly one-way traffic for the Lions early. Surprise league leaders in the NPL 2 Eastern Conference. Matai will get the ball out. Another pack forms. Lions wanted a foul, but they're not going to get one. And now Brunswick will get a chance, won by Foster. Fox. McKellar. Back to Fox. Fox will put a ball long, looking for Foster on the right, but Foster will just calmly watch as Rizuki heads the ball out. And Brunswick will have a throw-in. Nice little bounce pass by the assistant. Tim's under pressure. Will put Fox under a bit of pressure here from Niels. Niels has done well, but Fox just gets it out to his captain. But now he's turned the ball over. Drutzis gets the ball in. But there's nobody there, but a miscommunication from the Brunswick defence. Matai was screaming for it, but Dexter's run in front of him and just kicked it out for a throw-in. So, not out of danger yet, Brunswick. Chris Drutzis throws the ball in. Costas Drutzis applying pressure now as Brunswick can break. Gonzalez, he's got a man to beat. Oh, but good defending from Sim will force it out for a Brunswick throw-in. Chance for the Lions to get back and reset. Chance for Brunswick to reset. They've got there's acres and acres of space out on the right if they can get the ball over. but they can't, and it'll be an Eastern Lions throw-in. Kostastrutzis will leave the ball for his brother Chris to throw in. He'll go long. It's Niels. Niels working on the right. He will get it back to Doyle. Doyle now, under pressure from McKellar, and it'll be another throw-in. Good defending there from the Brunswick captain. Chris Drutzis will amble over to throw it in. Long throw. Comes out to Drutzis. Shot, and that was a shot from Kostastrutzis, but it was straight at Matai. But maybe celebrations for Matai. He's finally had to make a save.
Yeah, it's taken a while, but that's one of those efforts where with these conditions, Joel, you probably just want to have a go and really just test the keeper and see what he's made of. See if he's adjusted by now to these conditions. So, yeah, look, it seemed fairly regulation from Matai, but you have to probably chalk it down in this where there is, a pretty good save.
Now, McKellar will throw the ball in. Timms, under pressure, will cough the ball up to Menidis. Just kind of maybe a cross-come shot, maybe hoping for a late arrival into the box. Nothing comes of it. And stop me if you've heard this before, but Brunswick City have a goal kick. Just maybe the Eastern Lions content to allow Brunswick to just keep knocking these balls forward and to contests which, by and large, they've dominated. Although this time, Brunswick defence, well, I was about to say they look like they've gone short, but now they'll all jog forward. And once again, it just fell to the Lions, but some poor touch there, and it'll be a Brunswick throw-in. Chileli and Foster on the rights with Foster. Gonzalez is at the back post if they can find him. Ball comes into the back post. Gonzalez with the volley. But it's well blocked there in the end by Chris Drutzis. And that would have been spectacular if had it come off.
Great effort from Nico Gonzalez and fair old block as well from Chris Drutzis. Very timely intervention. We can tell you that was certainly heading in. I'm not sure the keeper would have got there, Joey.
Comes in a low corner, but it's cut out there by Collier. And he'll head the ball out to a contest down the left. Sims maybe going to ground a bit too easily there, but nonetheless, now he's got a chance to break. Sorry, Biss. Chris Drutzis. Got support from his brother behind him. Also had support from Biss. But he'll just eventually turn it over for, surprise, a Brunswick goal kick. Matai will take it over to his right. You are allowed to do that as a goalkeeper. You're allowed to take goal kicks regardless of where it's gone out from either corner of the 6-yard box, and Matai showing a clear preference for that right-hand side if he could get the ball to stay in place. Once again, Doyle comes away with it. Well defended, however, from Dexter. Brunswick have a chance to break. They'll try to get it to Gonzalez. Gonzalez will keep it in, just. Contest there between Turgott and Sim results in a throw-in. Gonzalez gets it in to Turgott. Foster with his back to goal, gets it back to Turgott. He had a shot, and that'll be a corner for Brunswick. Well defended there. But that's the type of stuff that Brunswick are going to have to do to get back into this, at least in the first half, aren't they? Just keep the ball on the ground and slice and dice this Eastern Lions defence.
It's interesting, Joey, when they have gone forward, they have looked fairly dangerous, and in those instances, Nico Gonzalez has been pretty central to that. I think certainly one of the things they need to do is really hold the ball a little bit more and get him into the game, because he has been central to a few of those opportunities that created, but elsewhere he's been a little on the peripheral side, so they could certainly use more of him.
Ball comes in to the back post. Fox rose, but all he could do was head the ball over the bar, and it'll be a rare goal kick to the Lions. Keegan Coulter, however, will have the wind at his back as he plays it out. He'll get the ball out to the teenager Doyle. He will play it back, but into a contest, and Brunswick will collect. Gonzalez and Sim there coming together again. It's been a good battle. The diminutive winger versus the ginger ninja in the Eastern Lions defence. So now the Lions will work the ball on the left. Rizuki will get it forward. Brunswick now. Looking for Stewart, but it's been picked out by the Lions. But McKellar will work it to Stewart. Stewart will go past Drutzis, but Drutzis now. Wow. Fox knocks it long in the direction of Foster. Stewart looking for Foster. Nate Foster will get the ball in, but there's just nobody there for Brunswick until eventually Turgott will chase it down. He's going to look for the byline. But Collier cut it out now. Drutzis can clear for the Lions. Doyle on the left. He's only 17 years old, but he's done very well today. Wants it back from Niels, but Niels instead will find Kostas Drutzis. Biss. He wanted Rizuki, but the ball is off, and now the Brunswick can pop in front, but the wind will take the ball designed for Foster. Nonetheless, he'll collect. Foster. Dexter looking for a run. He's kept the ball. Oh, sliding challenge from behind from Kostas Drutzis. Lucky he got the ball. And now he's got the ball once again on the left. Back to Doyle. Sim. Chris Drutzis on the right. Lions content to slow the game down until the run of Chris Drutzis down the right is spotted. Can he keep it in? He can. Chris Drutzis. Looks to be a corner for the Lions now. What can they do with it? Seeing there maybe the game slowing down a little bit, Joel?
Yeah, I mean, it's hit probably a bit of a flat spot, Joey. The first one for the game, and I mean, both teams have had little spells here and there. Brunswick had a good little 5-minute period, but back in the corner of literally of Eastern Lions now, no pun intended.
As Rizuki will throw the ball in, well, he'll knock the ball in. Contest develops. Lions keeping it in. Now Brunswick will get out in the direction of Gonzalez. Well done by the Lions to keep it up there. To Menidis. Just not really sure what he was doing there, and judging from some of the yells from his teammates, neither do the Eastern Lions. But it's going to be another goal kick to Brunswick. Matai goes long. Rizuki underneath at that time, and he'll win it. Costa Drutzis cuts in on his right, back to his left. He's looking for an open man. He's got time. Rizuki gets the ball in. He had Biss at the back post, but nothing doing, and another ball goes down there into the creek behind the goals. That Marshall's getting a pretty decent workout today. Collier and Doyle combined. Doyle. Back to Williams. Now danger here. Coulter had to make sure Gonzalez didn't get to it, but he did so. Had to go route one with it, however. And the ball will bounce into the corner. Looks to be a throw-in for Brunswick. Very deep in their half, so a chance for the Lions to get forward and lock the ball in. I think in the NFL that would be called a coffin corner punt. Just bring them in deep into their own half. Throwing in the direction of Timms, and he'll win another one. But the Lions able to, well, it looked like they were going to force a turnover, but Brunswick retained possession. Stewart will work it back to McKellar, who will work it up to Turgott, but Turgott will come under pressure from Drutzis and lose the ball. Fox got up underneath it. Timms throwing his right around. Foster gets onto the ball. Turgott looks for Foster. Foster's got the ball on the disc, left, and he's forced a good save from Coulter, but he's back in possession. And that ball will go nowhere though. But once again, just Foster getting in behind the Lions' defence.
He's the one certainly for Eastern Lions to look out for. He's making some good runs, and while certainly in today's conditions, Joey, needing to be very busy as well and to come up the pitch and collect some of these balls that are getting trapped in the wind. But he's got him behind a couple of times. Of course, hit the post earlier, and then missed one from very close range. So he's had all the chances for Brunswick City, and you get the feeling it's only a matter of time before he takes one.
As the ball once again is on the left, Doyle will just loop the ball upwards, looking for Biss. He's got two to beat, can't do so. The Lions will have another throw-in, however. As it looks like we don't have a spare ball there, as the fourth official, Daniel Martinez, has indicated that there will be 1 minute added on here at the end of the first half. So, can the Lions take advantage of this wind advantage and get another one before we head to the sheds? Doyle will flick it back. And Brunswick will perhaps happily concede a corner that looks like Sims is running over to take. Sorry, Biss. Floated in. Doyle at the back post. Heads it back in. The Lions have a chance, but it's blocked by the Brunswick defence. Back out to Doyle. Drutzis. Costa Drutzis. Back to Doyle. It's being held, but no foul from the referee. Chris Drutzis swings the ball in, and the referee will call for half-time. So, in a game really where Brunswick have been just pegged into their own half for most of it, the Lions taking advantage of this wind that's been going from the left to right of your screen to really just, well, not give them any peace in defence, but they nonetheless will go into the break only down 1-0. Ains with a couple of chances of their own. How did you see that first half there, Joel?
Well, it was an interesting half, Joey. I think certainly Eastern Lions made the most of that wind advantage they did have. They were overall the better side and were deserving of their goal, and what a goal it was as well from Tom Biss, one of the better ones we've seen probably across the board in NPL Victoria and NPL 2 this season. But yeah, look, a little bit to work on there for Brunswick City, but by the same token, a bit to work with as well. They're only 1-0 down, and for all we know, they're going to have the wind in their favour in the second half. But I think what's most important for them is really just to keep a bit of the ball, and I'm sure they'll be able to do that in the second half with the conditions in their favour, because as you say, Eastern Lions really did have them pinned in that half.
Should be an absolutely cracking second half. Make sure you stay tuned here on the NPL Victoria YouTube and Facebook pages for the second half of Eastern Lions versus Brunswick City. Hello and welcome back to Burwood, out here for cross-conference play in the NPL 2. Eastern Lions, top of the table in the Eastern Conference, versus Brunswick City, coming into today 8th in the Western Conference. And, well, after 45 minutes, the side with the better form has taken a 1-0 lead, thanks to an absolute worldie from the Lions' Thomas Biss. If you haven't had a chance to see it yet, make sure you find yourself a clip of it, because it was an absolute peach of a left-footed effort. I am Joey Lynch, and I am joined here today by Joel Frucci alongside me up here on the roof of the Eastern Lions home grounds. And Joel, what did you make of the first half?
Well, I think it was about as expected, Joey. Eastern Lions really put their foot down and made the most of the wind advantage that they did have. Brunswick City didn't really have a lot of the ball. They were pinned in their own half for much of that 45, but Nathaniel Foster in particular has looked dangerous up front. He's got in behind a couple of times when they have managed to put together a couple of chances, and probably on another day could have scored 1, 2, even a hat-trick by now, but it just didn't go in, hit the post. So they've got the wind at their back now. We can tell you that the wind conditions have not changed from the first half, so no doubt they'll be looking to use that in their favour, similar to Eastern Lions in the first half.
And as Drutzis gets it back to Doyle and he hoofs it forward, very early danger signs here. The ball is cut back to Biss. Oh, just caught out early, but the Lions still retain it. Back post, Fox heads it away. Lions keep it up there. Biss. Collier now on the left. Just guns are blazing right from the off the Lions. This ball comes off Costas Grutzis, and Brunswick will have a throw-in. Well, very exciting start from the Lions there, Joel, as they'll look to keep the ball pegged in here, and it comes out to Collier. But do you think Brunswick can get back into this and get one or maybe even a second to take the 3 points?
I'm not sure I've seen enough for them to do enough to take all 3. I think they may have a goal in them, but based on what we saw in that first half, they just weren't able to spend long enough on the ball in the opposing half. So unless that can change, I'm not sure Eastern Lions will be troubled too much. And we saw from that start there from them, that's intentful start, and a bit of a worrisome sign for Brunswick City, because they really need to start this half quickly, but that's not what they would have wanted there.
As the Lions have a free kick on the left, and Rizuki will float the ball in on his left foot, gets to the back post, spills out, but it looks like the Lions will have a corner now. And we have seen in that first half, admittedly it was mostly from contests on the halfway line from goal kicks, but the Lions seem to have had a bit of a height advantage, a bit of an advantage when it came to heading the ball. So we'll see if that can pay dividends for them now from the corner. Of course, their goal also came from a short corner, so shout out to all the fans of short corners, all 2 of you. Ball comes in now, but the Lions can't convert, and Brunswick will clear. But Collier, once again, he was pretty busy in that first half, but his pass there lets him down, and now Brunswick, with this wind at their back, will look to move forward for the first time. McKellar will throw the ball in long, looking for Foster. Lions will cut it out. Doyle looking to work the ball up the right. 2 Drutzis brothers combining well. Niels flicked it on for Costa Drutzis down the right. He will work it back to Doyle, the teenager. That hasn't looked like a teenager today. He's been playing very well. Switches on if he wants it. He doesn't. Instead, he'll turn the ball over now, and Brunswick have a chance to move forward. But this Lions pressure is intense. And Niels wins it back, and now Drutzis, and back to Niels. Niels tried to run through the defence, but he couldn't. But the Lions have a throw. Shout out to those kids trying to get on camera, waving. Yes, we can see you. Niels. Niels has gone down. Nothing doing, though, and it'll be a goal kick. Maybe the next generation of Eastern Lions superstar talent waving at you from behind Matai there, who has ditched the cap. Poor form. We love it when keepers wear caps. Foster working hard, but he's just constantly surrounded. But Gonzalez. Collier heads it out to the wing. To Rizuki. Timonides works it back to Coulter. Now Coulter runs into this problem of trying to hoof the ball long. It's headed forward, but Collier will clean it up. Niels gets it back to Drutzis. Costa Drutzis. Works it over to his brother Chris. Back to Costa Drutzis. Rizuki is on the left. He wants it. Great name he has. Ziggy Rizuki. Back to Drutzis. To Menidis. He's got space. They'll work it now on the right. Chance to swing the ball in. It comes in low. And it's just cut out. Looks to be by... Was it Fox? I think it's Fox, and he stayed down. Maybe just slightly cold coming out of the halftime break. Maybe pulled something, perhaps.
Yeah, potentially. I mean, you wouldn't think it's cramp or anything like that. It's a bit early. Bit of a limp. It's looks to be all right. So hopefully he can carry on. And not exactly an ideal time, Joey, for something like that to take place. But looks all right. You don't never want that at a corner.
Yeah, don't want to lose your centre back when the opposition are pressing hard. You've got Rizuki and Drutzis there. Drutzis runs away. Rizuki will float the ball in. Nobody there at the back post. Doyle tried to get fancy with the flick on, but he couldn't do so. Timms looked to get the ball forward, but there's nobody there, and Tumanides will collect. Doyle. Biss, the goal scorer. Costa Drutzis. We'll get it back from Doyle on the left. But he can't do anything, and Brunswick can now look to break through Chileli. Turgut. Twisting and turning. He's forced to go back. Contest there, but Williams won it, but then Williams immediately put it out. And now McKellar will throw it in and get it back. Just can't get anything going, Brunswick. They'll just be forced to go up the line, and it'll be an Eastern Lions throw-in. As Nathan Sim ambles over to collect it. But Brunswick, now you can see them, they're coming up. They're going to try to lock this ball in. What will Sim do in response? He'll go long. Headed back by Brunswick. Foster. Didn't have a lot of options. He was looking for Chileli. Instead, he's going to win a corner. First set piece of the game with this wind for Brunswick, Joel.
Yeah, well, these are the ones they need to make the most of, Joey, because obviously, as we know, Brunswick City haven't had a lot of the play, and Eastern Lions have really been on top. So, you know, as that side that's been going against the run of play, these set pieces are the ones that you need to make the most of, particularly in conditions like this. But a bit of tall timber, so let's see what they can do here.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be Turgut to float the ball in. Comes to the top of the penalty area. Shillelagh couldn't bring it down. Neither could Dexter, as now the Lions can break. Space to work in down the left has Niels. Ball will fall to Biss. He'll try to turn his man. He can't. Desperate defending from Brunswick. Ball comes out to Rizuki. Bounces back to him. Niels in support on his left. Cuts in his right instead. Tries to float the ball forward for Biss. Nothing doing. Back to Niels. He's going to go back to Collier. To Menidis. Forward for Rizuki on the left. He's got time. Can he get something in? He does. Comes in low and easily cleared away by the Brunswick defence. Collier under pressure from Gonzalez, but he got it to Tumanides. And instead the ball will bounce close to us and roll across to the other side of the roof. And my co-commentator Joel has gone to collect it. Brunswick will throw it in.
I'm back from my duties as ball boy.
Well done, Joel. We're proud of you. Ball came out to Foster, couldn't do anything with it, and it'll be an Eastern Lions throw-in. You can see Brunswick once again getting men around the area. Going to try to lock this ball in. Collier, ball in his hands. He goes long, looking for Doyle. Flicks it on. Dexter will just put it out, and the Lions can reset and go again. Drutz is stealing about 3 metres there, but he's thrown the ball back to Rizuki, and Rizuki doesn't want it either. And Collier comes up. Collier goes long for Doyle. Teenager does well, Rizuki. Now Drutz has a ton of space here to work with. He's going to shoot from distance. It's a decent thought from Chris Drutz. He had the time to tee something up and decide what he wanted to do. But now, before I can go to Joel, Matai takes it quickly. Chilali does well to leave Rizuki in his wake. Cheeky step over. And maybe it went to his head, because that was probably not the right option there, was it, Joel?
Well, it was a great touch to get rid of Rizuki, and no doubt you have I suppose, a bit of inflation of the head after you have a touch like that. And well, unfortunately for him, the shot was very wayward indeed, but certainly worth a go. It's been a long time between drinks for opportunities for Brunswick City, and with the wind at their back, I think it was certainly worth an effort on Keegan Coulter's goal to maybe sting the gloves, but no one here on that occasion.
Perhaps if we were to give him the benefit of the doubt, maybe he's just not used to the winds. At least that might be his version, as the ball comes forward now for the Lions. You had Costa Drutzis and I think it was Biss looking for it, but neither could get it. As it also looks like we might be seeing some action on the Brunswick sidelines soon. Down 1-0, maybe looking for a spark. We haven't played long in this second half. Sim throws it long. Doyle. Niels. Costa Drutzis on the right, but it's cut out there. Done well as Darby Dexter. And now Brunswick have a chance to break. But just touch lets them down, but they do win a throw-in. Corbena Bohane. But his ball for Turgot is too hard, and now Rizuki for the Lions is on it. Under pressure from Chilali. Doyle. Well done, he's got it to Biss. Now the left footer can break down this left-hand side. Few step overs, few techers. Good defending from Kobe Timms. Former junior international for Australia, Kobe Timms, the Brunswick boy. Of course, another famous representative from Australia of Brunswick City, of course. Who's that, Joel?
Andrew Naboot comes to mind, actually, Joey. I was just jogging my memory to see who you might be talking about there. But yeah, Andrew Naboot, of course, bred in Brunswick, of course, at the World Cup, and we had a bit of a fun time with him.
Yeah, tightly scripted action here at the Eastern Lions game, as Doyle now on possession. As now Collier. There was a definite push there from Turgot. He went to ground looking for a free kick of his own afterwards, but it's not going to happen, as Biss collects the ball and he'll throw it back, and triumvirate of Collier, Rizuki and Drutzis over it, but it looks like Rizuki will take it.
Interesting to note as well, Joey, as I recover from my massive mental blank, that it's cooled down considerably here. So I wonder what effect, if any, that will have on pressing and things like that.
We have seen a fierce press employed by the Eastern Lions in that first half, and signs that Brunswick might be doing the same in the second. It's Drutzis, just enveloped by his man, but he's kept the ball and worked it onto Doyle. Knocked forward by Stewart for Foster, but nothing doing. And if that dog's doing what I think it's doing behind the action there, I hope its owner has a plastic bag, which it looks like she does so. All sorts of canine action going on here at Eastern Lions. As we've got our first substitute of the game, it looks like. If he can turn around and show me his number, I'll give him a shout out as Costa Emmanuel has come onto the pitch for Brunswick. Former NTC, former Victory Youth and former Bentley Greens player Costa Emmanuel. Immediately in the thick of action, applying pressure to Collier and Williams. Collier will get it long, looking for Rizuki, who'll give away the free kick. He just climbed up too high there, all over Timms. Another former Victory Youth on the field, Timms. I believe Timms also spent some time at City as Turgott moves on to possession. Chilele. Looking for Emmanuel, but nothing doing. In fact, Joel, you were talking about the weather cooling down, and I think I might be feeling maybe 1 or 2 drops of rain as well.
Yeah, well, if we just glance up at the sky, there's a considerable amount of cloud cover that's come across. It's almost entirely grey to our west currently, to the left of screen. Yeah, I thought I may have felt 1 or 2 drops before. It's not overly ferocious right now, but it's certainly one to keep an eye on because that could really change things up late in the game.
Hard enough to play the ball through the air already. Now if we get a bit of moisture on the surface and the ball starts skidding around, we could be in for a bit of sloppy play perhaps, which would suit a team trying to protect the lead. So maybe Brunswick, if they are going to get back into this game, want to do so before the heavens above us open up. Niels looking for the ball, but he falls over and Brunswick can clear, but only as far as Doyle. Drutzis. Sim. Sliding challenge from Doyle, wins it back to Sim. Sim gets it forward to Biss. Biss has Rizuki in support on his left. He uses him. Collier running in support as well. Looking for the overlap. Ziggy doesn't use him. Ziggy Rizuki gets it back to Biss. Scored from similar range before. Now Collier gets the ball, but he's unaware. Has to adjust. Back to Rizuki. Rizuki floats the ball in. Nothing doing though. And instead they will have to reset through Chris Drutzis. Chris Drutzis gets it back in looking for Niels. Niels is still fighting for it. Some good defence there from Bahani and he'll clear it, but only as far as Collier. And once again the Lions keeping this ball. Doyle will float it out to the right. Biss. Looking for the overlap for Drutzis. But he's denied. Eastern Lions throw in, however. They're knocking on the door. Just nice bit of sustained pressure here for the Lions, Joel.
Yeah, good defending there from Fox just to clear the danger. But yeah, good little passage for Eastern Lions. It was an awkward ball into the box before that was in an awkward position for the keeper. It's a prolonged spell of possession, and I just wonder if they can make the most of this. The way back in for Brunswick City. I mean, the door probably closes significantly more. Probably still a little open if they were to get another one in this little bit of possession, but it wouldn't be too much more after that.
Drutzis, he'll knock the ball forward looking for Best, but cut out once again by the Brunswick defence. That was Timms. Timms has been one of the better ones, you'd probably say, for Brunswick as Rizuki throws it in. Doyle. Was dispossessed really by his own teammate there, Drutzis, who tries to make up for the error by sliding in, but Gonzalez collects. Emmanuel, the substitute, twisting and turning, but it's turned over to Manidis. Chris Drutzis. Under pressure here, though. That's good pressure from Chilele. Joined by a teammate, and they'll hustle and bustle, and it'll be a free kick to the Lions there. Chilele brought him down. Brunswick are complaining, but judging on that, probably not much to complain about the Brunswick have. Yeah,
and look, I think overall that was probably about right. I think a foul was about it. No need for a yellow card there. Interesting to note as well, Joey, that very early in the game there was a bit of intensity in some of those coming togethers, but it's probably plateaued a little bit since then. It was probably the first we've seen for a while.
Ball floated in, but nothing doing. That's my apologies before there. I said Eastern Lions had a free kick. It was Brunswick. Still in first half mode. Joel's got my back though. Just Lions players encouraging each other to not stop. Telling Keegan Coulter to keep going. Not sure how a goalkeeper can show hustle when the ball's up the other end of the field, but I'm sure Keegan Coulter can figure it out. So he'll look to get this ball long. With the wind in his face, we saw how that went for Matai, and he's just going to put the ball straight out. Gonzalez and Turgut combined, gets it to Foster. But it's picked out there by Drutzis. Coming together of Timms and Drutzis. Kept in by the Lions. Flicked on by Brunswick, and now maybe Brunswick can come up with something. Rodriguez was good in the first half, a bit quiet in the second. Turgut. Now Foster looking to win it. Still going. He and Drutzis clash, and Drutzis wins out. Could have gone down, kept his feet. Once again he tries to keep his feet, but this time the referee no choice but to blow the whistle. Foster doesn't like it, but when have you ever seen a player like giving away a foul, I guess, as the Lions now have a chance to move forward. Substitution here. 10 on for 11, so that's one Portillo replacing Ratip Chilele. So we'll see what one can do. As Ratip, he's showed some flashes, did Chilele, but maybe would have been a bit disappointed not to make more of an impact on this game, Joel.
Yeah, I think so, Joey. Interesting to note as well that Portillo does have a goal this season for Brunswick City. So I wonder if he can potentially provide that little bit of spark they need this half. They've had a little bit of the ball, Brunswick City, but the tide hasn't really changed too much from the first half. And you've scarcely called Nathaniel Foster's name as well. He's really had to try and come up the pitch to work himself into the game. He hasn't had a whole lot of opportunity.
As now Brunswick will force a turnover and look to move the ball forward. The newly introduced Portelli wanted a free kick. The bench wanted a free kick, but they don't get one, but they will retain possession. Maybe work the ball out to the right. Balahani. Emmanuel. Looking for Rodriguez, but the ball was wayward, and that's a dangerous sliding challenge, and he's going to be booked there. Is Ali Turgut. He was late, didn't get the ball, and that's one that we're not seeing complaints from Brunswick, so I think they recognised as now Eastern Lions look to be swinging a change of their own. Looks like we'll be seeing Will Ellis coming on for Andrew Williams. So he's bringing off the coach, Jimmy Williams, bringing off his son, a centre-back, so maybe injury perhaps, or something not normally you see, a substitute of your centre back when you're up 1-0 in the second half.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it, Joey? You'd have to probably predict some kind of niggle, perhaps. It is an interesting change, I suppose. When you are 1-0 up and you're looking pretty safe at the back, it's fairly disruptive, I would have thought, to change up your back four. So I wonder if there was a bit of a niggle for Andy Williams, a strange one to make it at this stage of the game, particularly as well as it starts to cool down a little bit here in Burwood. So no real sign of exhaustion or fatigue or anything like that. So an interesting one. We'll see how that one plays out.
The new man Ellis has slotted into a centre-back position as Foster will look to cut inside. Moves the ball forward. Tries to dink it over the top for Rodriguez, but blocks out. Oof, dangerous Ali Turgut, putting his head on the line. Kobe Timms. Out wide to Turgut. Good tackle by Rizuki. So now the substitute, Ellis. Timms. The pressure from Niels, but he looks to... And that'll be an Eastern Lions throw-in. So a chance to move forward as... Just with my eagle eye there, I just see Rizuki holding his wrist. So you don't really need a wrist to play football, so maybe he can go through, but something to keep an eye on. It is already strapped. Came into the game strapped. So maybe something that Brunswick might notice, if nothing else. This ball comes in looking for Doyle, but it's cut out. Emmanuel. He's dispossessed by Rizuki, but now it's a Brunswick throw-in. Lahane. Cut out by Drutzis. Still in possession is Drutzis. Looks for Niels. And Niels does well to get to it. Tries to turn his man, but instead he's going to win a corner. It's just maybe, if you can pick it up, that couple behind the goal struggling with their blanket just shows you the level of the wind that is here at Gardeners Creek as it picks up again before the corner. So it's going to be a difficult one to put on the spot as one of the Eastern Lions players is fixing his lace. Maybe a bit of the dark arts there, trying to wait for the wind to die down. Niels it was, fixing his laces, but ball will instead be floated in. What can the Lions do? To the back post. Headed clear instead by Timms. Now it will be a Brunswick throw-in. Once again, though, Lions will force the turnover and come forward. Drutzis applying the pressure to Fox. Doyle. Drutzis, Costa Drutzis. Doyle on the right. Biss was at the far post, but it beat all of them, and doesn't matter because Biss had wandered offside. And instead it will be a free kick from basically what would amount to be a goal kick position. Cut out there by Sim, and it'll be a throw in. Mahane will throw the ball in. Trying to get something going, but nothing going, and it'll be a goal kick to the Lions. Of course, today the only NPL action going down. Most of the games played on Friday or Saturday, but some of the results from around the grounds we had on Friday night, and this is the NPL, the top division. Hume City 5, Dandenong City 1, so tough times for Highjuk. Melbourne Knights 3, Port Melbourne 2, Pascoe 2, South Melbourne 0. Oakley Cannons getting their first win in the season at the expense of Heidelberg United. And then yesterday, well, the Avondale train just kept on rolling. This time Green Gully, the unfortunate people going under the wheels, 5-2 to Avondale. 2-2 draw between Dandenong Thunder and Bentley Greens. Good result for the Thunder there. And Altona Magic 2, Kingston City 1. So after getting their first win over the season last week, Kingston City can't make it 2 in a row against Altona. But Joel, I believe you were on commentary for the Hume City Dandy City game. What did you think of that one?
Yeah, well, I mean, it was an interesting one. Hume City really did put the clamps on in the first half, but yeah, look, it was a performance from Dandy City that was reminiscent of a team struggling down the bottom, and I believe they actually are on the bottom of the table now after Oakley Cannons win over Heidelberg United, which I actually picked, by the way, for all the viewers out there. I said to Joey on Friday, just quietly, but yeah, like a lot of sloppy defending from Dandy City. They conceded the first goal from a corner and conceded the last goal from a corner as well, and both times it were just 2 free headers that really did them in, and it was the right result. Hume City really didn't let up all night, and it's going to be a struggle for Dandy City now. And interestingly, they do have a bit of former A-League talent on their books, the likes of Petr Franjic and Mark Otching and Diogo Ferreira, but some struggling big time.
As it looks like we will have a slight stoppage of play here, as I think that's Doyle, the teenager, that's gone down with a bit of cramp. Rizuki is trying to stretch it out as the substitution bench springs to life for the Eastern Lions. Costa Drusus at least thinks we need to see a change made, indicating to the bench. Always loving these situations where, even though it's an outfield player that's gone down with an injury, the backup goalkeeper just goes out for a jog as well. Maybe he just doesn't want to get left on his own on the bench. Looks like we might be seeing a Brunswick change as well, as we see the board produced. So it'll be Nicolas Gonzalez, who was very busy, you'd say, in the first half for Brunswick, created a few chances, but hasn't really been able to get going in this second stanza. He'll be replaced by Matt Conversano. So chance for Conversano to come on and make an impact late, as we're still getting cramping here. The referee is not moving the injured player off, and instead it looks like he's going to have to make way. We've got a man taking the bib off. I think it's Sean Kenny. And now the referee has moved the injured man Doyle off the pitch. So it is Sean Kenny coming on for Doyle. And what did you make of Doyle, the teenager's performance today, Joel?
Yeah, it was a pretty good performance from him. It was interesting that I suppose he did add a bit more height in midfield, Joey, and you certainly do notice the height when you've got the old shirt tuck in and the long shorts as well. It makes you look a bit taller, but the ball was, as we know, really holding up in the wind from the right of screen, as it does again there. So he was really tidying up a bit along the halfway line and adding a bit in that regard for Eastern Lions. So I guess perhaps understandable as well that a 17-year-old kid cramping around this stage of the game.
Yeah, maybe just not the miles in his legs to build that up, as now Foster has the ball on the right. Gets the ball back in. Oh, there's just the swarming Eastern Lions there. Despite the fact that Conversano did get the ball that came to him, got the chest on it, but once that came down, immediately dispossessed by the Lions, and now they will have a chance to clear through Sim or Keegan Coulter. Bit of a homecoming, Eastern Lions, for Keegan Coulter when he signed here. His father, Sean Coulter, bit of a stalwart of the club, you'd say. 16 years here, played at Lions from 1971 to 1987, so Coulter, a famous name here with the Eastern Lions, as he puts the ball long. Niels gets under it. And he'll get the ball back from Chris Drutzis, but good defending by Brunswick to dispossess him, but fortunately for them, it's rolled out for a corner, as we've got a yellow card for something off the ball there. I think for the substitute, Juan Portillo, so maybe frustration's boiling over for Brunswick.
Yeah, potentially, and it's interesting as well, Joey, because to my memory, I actually can't recall Eastern Lions, for all their dominance in this game, either side of half-time, really opening up Brunswick City. I mean, they've had a couple of pops from long range, and the decisive goal was very much a stonker from long range. But there hasn't been a lot of in-behind type stuff from Eastern Lions. So pretty good defensive performance from Brunswick City, but it's further forward of that where the issues have lied.
Yeah, Eastern Lions, really, I mean, Thomas Biss scores an absolute worldie, but other than that, really, haven't really troubled Matai at all, have they? So the Brunswick defence is, for all of the pressure applied to them, have stopped that last killer touch from opening them up and shots being created, as now Brunswick will look to get the ball forward. Conversano applies the pressure. It's just hoofed out. Substitute Conversano looking to throw his weight around early and maybe get something going. He's been in it a few times. As it looks like it will be Juan Portillo, the substitute, putting this corner in. And that's going to frustrate the Brunswick attackers to no end. Deflected corner, and now the Eastern Lions can break. Rizuki. That was the substitute, Sean Kenny. And Rizuki there was taken down by Fox off the ball, but nothing doing apparently, as looks like Costa Emanuel is just happy to watch that ball go over the line, but it will be a Lions throw-in to be taken by Collier, who in the wake of the substitution to Williams, the captain, looks to have shifted over to right back. So it looks like Collier is playing right back and Rizuki is playing left back. So probably was an injury in forced substitution, that one, given that they have reshuffled their entire defensive structure. Ellis chests it down, and now the Lions can break. Might have heard Biss instructing Drutzis to leave it. And now he plays it to Drutzis, Costa Drutzis. 2018 BNF, under pressure from two men. Does well to hold them up. Tries to play a 1-2 there, but nothing doing. Sean Kenny tried to work it back to him, but Brunswick cut it out, and it will be a throw-in.
And we can tell you that ball is right now in the back of a Hilux, interestingly. Great shot.
Well, Hilux, they're indestructible. I think it'll manage as ball comes in now to Rizuki. Looks like probably going long here. No, short option presents itself. Gets it back to Rizuki now. Beats one man. That man comes back. It was Boahene. Came back for second helpings and forced the turnover. Conversano. He got it to Portillo, but Portillo's pass is cut out. But Conversano gets it back again. Well done from Conversano. McKellar. But now he's dispossessed of the balls. And in his haste to win the ball back, slides in, takes out who I think is Chris Drutzis. He's staying down, and it'll be a free kick to Eastern Lions. So, and he looks to be in a bit of pain, clutching the back of his ankle. Sim standing over the ball to get us started again. Now there is about an acre of space that Drutzis has found here on the left, and Sim picks him out. Costa Drutzis has Rizuki in support behind him, doesn't use him, he keeps going, beats one challenge, foot comes in, but Rizuki's now there on the left, and he is a winger. He started on the wing, and he'll float the ball in. Biss on the back post. He was thinking something spectacular. We saw from that half, we saw Rodriguez, no, it's not Rodriguez, Gonzalez in the first half try a similar manoeuvre, but not as much, with significantly more style with that one. But nonetheless, the Lions will keep the ball up here in the, oh! Now that's going to be a booking. McKellar just trying to stop the Lions from throwing it in early. Slight push there, and he's going to earn a bookie. And is that just more signs of frustration coming in for Brunswick?
I think so. And I mean, the way the game's going, I suppose you can potentially blame some of these players for getting a bit agitated, Joey, because it really has hit a bit of a flat spot. It's really turned into just a real battle, particularly in midfield. Neither team has been able to break the other down. It's very much an arm wrestle at the moment. And as things are progressing, it's pretty difficult to see where either team is going to find a goal, either an equaliser for Brunswick or what I would say would be a sealer for Eastern Lions. Neither has been able to break down the other.
As we see Eastern Lions preparing their final substitution on the bench. And they're forced to turn over here, looking for Biss, but it's going to get cut out there by Dexter. He's going to put the ball forward before Conversano. He's gone down. He wants a penalty. He's going to get a penalty. Conversano, he started a 1-2 with Foster, kept going, and he's just been knocked in the back by, I think it was Collier, the substitute, and he's gone down and he's won a penalty for Brunswick, a chance to get back in this game and tie it up at 1-1.
Real moment of carelessness there from Eastern Lions, and I just wonder, has Collier actually escaped the card here? Because Conversano was well and truly in behind there and was just clattered into. I suppose in that situation with double jeopardy, it has to be yellow.
Turgott comes in, makes no mistake, sends Coulter the wrong way. Professional as you like. Sorry for cutting you off, Joel. Just have to get the goal in there. Professional penalty. And it's now 1-1 here at Gardeners Creek. So despite the fact that they've been dominating this game, Eastern Lions made to pay for that just lack of killer instinct in the final third. And Joel, game on.
Yeah, game on, and a breakthrough that I certainly wasn't expecting, and very much out of nowhere. Conversano in behind, the fresh legs off the bench. Interesting to note that in the end, Collier actually did get away with the booking. Didn't even get a yellow card, which I thought may have been the case, because seemed to have denied a clear goal scoring opportunity from up here. But as we know, with the double jeopardy rule, can't be a penalty and a red card, so certainly seemed like it would be a yellow for all money. But game on, and the challenge now back to Eastern Lions. They've had probably one real opening this half where they've really tested the Brunswick City defence, and that was after about 15 seconds of the half direct from the kickoff. But since then, it's really been slim pickings for them.
Barnstorming finish, perhaps ahead here at Gardeners Creek. Both sides pressing hard. Maybe that frustration that was building in Brunswick, maybe they can now convert that energy into presses forward. Ball comes in. I was looking for Conversano, but it's cut out. Some thoughts about going from range, but ball instead comes back out to Timms. Eastern Lions will look to get forward, but instead it will be a Brunswick throw-in, which they will take quickly. Just lobbed forward by Fox. Headed in for Conversano. He's already won one penalty in that area, but this time Collier gets in front and keeps the promising attack from developing, and instead be a throw into Brunswick. And here Dexter there in the Brunswick defence telling his boys, let's get another one. Just not long left now. We're in the 88th minute here. Just 2 minutes left. Can Brunswick get themselves a late winner? We've had late drama in the last two Eastern Lions fixtures, getting very late winners. Ball comes in for Brunswick. Collier gets up, and would have been a half-decent effort had he been a striker, but instead he's been able to keep the ball out, and it will now be a corner for Brunswick. As we tick over to the 89th minute now. Could be very dramatic scenes here. Brunswick, 8th place coming into this week. Eastern Lions, of course, in first. Eastern Lions can't lose first with a loss, but I don't think that'll give them much comfort. The ball is floated in. Foster can't reach it. And another corner for Brunswick, Joel. Brunswick just knocking on the door.
Coming home with a wet sail, and as you say, Joel, we have seen some late drama this season in Eastern Lions games, and actually conceded one very late against Bulleen Lions as well for a 3-3 draw.
Ball is floated in the back post. Conversano. He raised himself up, floated up high, but unfortunately maybe needing an extra few inches of height there is Conversano to just nod that one in at the back post. As finally the Eastern Lions will make their final substitution. It is Biss, the goal scorer, got an absolute worldie, and he is coming off and being replaced by Dan, I can't read my handwriting, number 5, Dan Cathercole, I think. I'll have to consult the team sheet in a little bit. My apologies, it's Gathercole. Former Nunawading player, Western Suburbs, Clifton Hill. Played for Whitby Town in the UK. And a striker, Joel. So Eastern Lions, they're going for it.
Yeah, a bit of late intense. I think almost for Eastern Lions, it's almost a case of the creativity as much as the men up front. They just haven't been able to unlock the Brunswick City defence, Joey.
As now Brunswick will move forward again. As you said, Joel, finishing with a wet sail. Portillo will take it down there and he will win the ball for his side. Eastern Lion fans aren't happy with it, but it will be a free kick for Brunswick here, which Portillo will be able to float in. Floated in towards the back post. Nothing doing, though. I think that was Niels that flicked it away for the Lions. Brunswick throw in, however. It's very late here, but they're still pushing hard. Long throw in. Just lofted in. Fox and Rakazuki. Well, it'll be a goal kick in the end. It was Fox versus Rizuki. Rizuki content to just watch it bounce over the line. And now a chance for maybe the Lions. You would have to think it would be one of the very last ones they'll get. Coulter just hoofs it long. Timms, he's been very good for the Brunswick. He'll knock it forward. Collier heads it away. Conversano. No, sorry, Foster. Well done from the captain, McKellar. Just hoofs forward once again. Now it's Foster. But Coulter will collect. Roll it out for Drutzis. Back to Coulter. Now he'll go long. But it just dies once again in the air. And Brunswick can go forward. Coulter coming off his line. Can Niels keep it in? He can't. And we don't have a spare ball over on that side, so play will be forced to wait. Now, theoretically, in these situations, the referee should stop the clock in injury time for any extras. It's always a question about whether they actually do or not. Maybe 10 stop seconds, he's only 5 on the actual game clock, but... And that's come off the referee, I think. No matter, as Brunswick go forward. Collier under pressure from Emmanuel. Ball comes in, but there's nobody there at the back post. Now Coulter, he'll play it out to Rizuki. He was a winger, remember. But he's going to turn the ball over instead. Now Brunswick, they can catch the defence napping. Well, it bounced off Portillo there and perhaps into the path of Turgott, but no doing. Turgott, the goal scorer for Brunswick, getting his side back to 1-1 with a penalty. Portillo puts it in. No doing though. Drutzis. Free kick there given away by Boahene. Just a shirt pull. Just Drutzis. He perhaps could have taken it quickly there. There is not long left if the Lions want to win this. Coulter just imploring his side to pour forward. Puts it long to nobody in particular though. And that is it. Full time here at Gardeners Creek. 1-1. The Eastern Lions, they took the lead in the first half through a worldy, an absolute top bin strike from Thomas Biss until then late in the second half. The substitute for Brunswick, Matt Conversano, he wins a penalty, brought down by Collier, put away as coolly as you like from Ali Turgut. 1-1. The Lions will retain first place on the Eastern Conference table. Joel, what did you think of that one?
Well, it was an interesting one, Joey. I mean, I think the final scoreline 1-1 will certainly frustrate Eastern Lions because they had the vast majority of the play, but the problem for them was there was really only one occasion that I can recall.
Hold on, a bit of toing and froing here between some of the sides after the game. It's Rizuki in it for the Lions. Looks like Conversano's trying to play peacekeeper and no doing as hands are eventually shook and they come off. Sorry for interrupting you, John.
No worries. Interesting little coming together there. But yeah, I mean, Eastern Lions, there was probably only one opportunity that I can remember where they really opened up Brunswick City, and that was at the very start of the second half. In probably the first 15 seconds, they got in on goal but weren't able to make the most of it. And thereafter, it was a real arm wrestle. And for their part, Brunswick City, you'd have to say overall, probably had, I'd say, probably two of the best chances of the game of both teams. So in that respect, you could probably argue that 1-1 is a fair result, but I think certainly probably 1 point gain for Brunswick City and 2 lost for Eastern Lions.
So Eastern Lions 1, Brunswick City 1 for the second last game of the NPL 2 week. One more game to come tomorrow night at the Venator Club. FC Bulleen Lions playing host to the Youth of Melbourne Victory. Bulleen have already drawn 1-1 with Melbourne City Youth, so we'll see what they can do against another academy side. I've been Joey Lynch. I've been joined by my Daily Football Show Australia every weekday at 4 p.m. Get around the podcast, Joel Frucci. And this has been Eastern Lions 1, Brunswick City 1.